Well, hello everybody. Welcome to this webinar. On today's webinar, I'm going to share with you a case study of my $100,000 coaching program process, everything from how we find the clients all the way to how we fulfill them and making sure that they do deals, okay? And then, at the end, I'm also going to share with you something new that I'm doing that I'm really super excited about. Love to get you guys involved in it as well. Thank you so much for being on and being on time and everything. So as we go along, if you have questions, feel free to type it in. At the end of the webinar, I'm gonna unmute you guys, give you guys an opportunity to ask whatever questions you want to ask. But just so that way you don't forget these questions, go ahead and type it out. And I value your time, so I'm gonna go through as fast as I can, and at the same time not too fast where it's going over your head. Okay, so bear with me here. All right, first is the master plan. What are we doing on this specific webinar? I hope you can see the screen well here. But why are we here? We're here for three things. I want to share with you. Number one is about the coaching, the $100,000 coaching program I've been doing for the last 3.5, almost 4 years now. At the end of this year, it'll be 4 years. And I actually started the coaching program, at the beginning of 2012, and a year later, in the beginning of 2013, was when I raised my price drastically. I went from $25,000 was my highest program for 1 year of coaching, all the way to $100,000, and that jump was literally from November of 2012 to February of 2013. And I'll share with you how I did that, right? So it kind of shocked everybody. It shocked myself, certainly, and it also shocked my clients as well. And so it's an amazing thing. And then I'm gonna share with you my process that I take my clients through of how we make sure that every single one of our clients do at least a deal while they are in our program. And there's a very specific process that we go through to be able to do that. Okay, and then I'm gonna share with you the new thing that I'm doing, which is a mastermind and joint venture group, and I'll share with you that at the end. A little bit about me. I'm not going to go in, too deep into how I get started in real estate investing and everything. But, long story short, I started investing in 2002, and by 2006, when I started my teaching business, I have done well over 400 deals by then. And since then, I've done a lot more deals. And just thought, you stop counting at some point. I think, at least for me, anyways. All right, so in 2006, I started, what is now DoDeals.com. It's a real estate lead generation membership website, and that's how I got into this whole online thing. I started this membership site because I was generating so much leads in my real estate business, and I was only converting like 3% of the leads that we were generating. And I thought, well, what am I going to do with all these leads? I started selling leads to HomeGain. When that went away, I bought a Remax franchise, and was hope that to get my agents to list these properties, and that didn't work out either. So I sold the Remax franchise. So I started DoDeals.com and said, you know what, I'm just gonna put this leads on in a membership site, and people pay a monthly fee, get access to these leads, and they can do whatever they want to do with it. And that was how I got into the info business. In 2007, I was one of the first to start doing online webinars. I mean, if you go back that far, you remember the days of the teleseminars. And I was the first to bring virtual assistants to our industry. In 2008, I did, my first and certainly the first in our industry, the first seven-figure product launch. Signed up over 4,000 new members at $197 a month for DoDeals.com. Plus upsell them to coaching, And then, after that launch, I share my entire launch funnel and process and web page, like everything I did in that launch, with my syndicate mastermind. Yeah, I can't name all the names in the mastermind because it was kind of a secret thing. But as a result of that, Dan Merrill did his um, wholesaling university launch, and then that was the beginning of what is now Fortune Builders mastery program. And Preston used my launch funnel and process to launch FreedomSoft. Did a few $1 million. His very first FreedomSoft launch was huge. You probably remember that. Many others have used my launch funnel. Jeff Adam, DC Fawcett. A lot of guys have used my launch funnel that I used, back in 2008 as the framework to launch their own business. Into 2009, I was one of the first to consistently do six-figure webinars. So almost every webinars I get on, whether I'm selling my product, I'm selling someone else's product, we consistently do over $100,000 on a webinar. I even did a training call that I called 90K in 90 minutes, and it's about how to sell at least $90,000 in 90 minutes using webinars, and help many people launch their products and services on webinars. Pat Martin, when he came out with his course, Cash for Keys, we promoted that to on a webinar to my list. I did over $130,000. Roger Salam, when he created his course, we did just like not even on the replay, but just on the front end, we did over $80,000 right off the bat, and then plus some more on the replays. I've done this for a number of people. In 2010, I attempted to take my company public, dodeals.com public, and went through the whole thing with the SEC attorney and the whole team, and that ended up costing a lot of money, and the deal didn't go through. In 2011 is when I got this wake up call. It's like, what the heck am I doing? I hustle, I make a lot of money. I also spend a lot of money, and certainly trying to take a company public, we spent tons of money, and I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't, I felt empty inside. While I made a lot of money and have a lot of coaching clients and a lot of clients online, but my student success rate, my client success rate was very, very low. And everybody I talk to, guys in my mastermind, and it's like, I want a coaching program that has 100% success rate. And everybody was like, no, you can't do that. That's not possible, right? Just accept the fact that only 3 to 5% of your students ever going to succeed. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure out how to get it done. So in 2012, I started, a high-end local real estate coaching company here in Houston, and the goal I set out was to have 100% client success rate, and I wasn't gonna take anything less than that. And then we perfected that, my partner and I, and ever since February 2013 was when we launched our $100,000 a year coaching, and that's been going on, and doing extremely well as well. In 2016, I recently sold this real estate coaching company over to my partner, so he's running it now. And I miss going back online. I miss the fame. So I'm going back online. Yeah, I'm starting a mastermind and joint venture group for people who are real estate coaches, mentors, info marketers. I want to share what I've been doing the last few years, and how together, like, we can all have 100% success rate with our clients. That's what I want. I want the industry to be where no matter who they go to, whether they go to me or to you, or to someone else in our industry, or at least someone else within our group, right? That that we know that their chance of success is extremely high, and that they're going to be successful with what they do. Okay, so that's my goal. Right? It's that all of us, is that committed to our clients, and we have the system and the processes to make it possible for our clients and make it profitable for us. So now I want to share with you the model that that I use for the local coaching, right? So local coaching means that we don't take on any clients outside of Houston, outside of the local market that we do real estate in. And the whole idea behind that was because when I first started teaching in 2006, my students was very successful. Was like my student success rate was much higher than when I went online. For different for different reasons. Number one, the benefit with a local coaching is that a student can come to our office and they can see us. They know that we're live. They can pinch us and know that we're live. You know, they can see our deals. They see our email blast that goes out. Whenever we wholesale our deals. So there's a lot of benefits to that realness of it for the students. And then also another benefit is we have tons of resources, right? Everything from the market, the like the mail house, to the list provider, to the private lenders, to the title company that we use, the contractors that we use. Like we have everything local, people that we do business with in our business already. And and so we can refer that to our clients. Now I know how to I know how to duplicate what I've done online and what I've done offline in local coaching to the online world. And I'm working on launching a national coaching online again, using what I've learned how to get students to be successful in the offline world. Yeah, so part of the model is we do monthly networking events. And this, the monthly networking events, kind of like a RIA group kind of meeting. We don't call ourselves a RIA, simply because there's a club in town called the Rich Club, and they've been around since the 70s. So they're a dominant name as a RIA here in Houston. So we don't bother to call ourselves a RIA. Just a real estate investing club, and then. Every 3 weeks we do these little introduction to real estate investing events. And the purpose of the monthly networking is certainly to get people to bring their friends and family, to expand our brand, get the referrals going. We don't do any kind of hard sell here at the monthly networking. It's more of a branding and growing the group purpose. And then every 3 weeks we have a free introduction to real estate investing that we do. And we do hard sell people on this one into our 3-day seminar that we do every 3 months. And so that's kind of our funnel, right? And I'll explain the marketing here in a little bit. And then from the 3-day mastermind is where we upsell them into coaching. Okay, so how the marketing works, we have our in-house list that we mail for all of our events, and then for our networking events, we get other wholesalers to mail for us. We get hard money lenders to mail for us. We get other vendors to mail for us. In exchange, like the wholesalers, we allow them to present their deals on our stage. The hard money lenders, we allow them to have a booth out at our event, and they also pay a fee as well. And other vendors like title companies, insurance companies, IRA custodians. So different vendors like that service to the real estate investing market, we get them to promote our free networking event, a monthly event. And people are very, because it is a free event, it is networking, it's getting the whole industry together. These vendors are very open to promoting this because there's, like I said, we don't really do any kind of hard sell. We do mention about our seminars coming up, but it's not a strong sales push. And then from there, that also helps us build our list organically, because we also do a lot of Facebook ads as well on top of that. And our Facebook ads, we drive people specifically to the uh, uh, the introduction to real estate investing events. Okay, so we don't really drive Facebook ads to the networking event. We just use word of mouth for that. This allows us to have a bigger ad budget to drive traffic, and so you have the and when I say Facebook ads, it's both the front end ads as well as retargeting. So we do quite a bit on Facebook. We spend about 20,000 a month on Facebook to run these events. We do for these free workshops. So this is monthly. This is every 3 weeks, but every 3 weeks we do 2 days back to back, and we do 2 workshops a day. So that's a total. So every 3 weeks we do a total of 4 workshops, basically, right? 4 like introduction to real estate investing workshops. And so our Facebook traffic, the 20,000 a month that we spend, all goes toward the free workshops. And then from there, we'll get about 80 buying units, 80 buying units to our seminar. That means that roughly about 100 to 120 butts and seats, because they bring like spouses, partners. Those people get to come for free, and so we have more butts and seats. We've been doing this for a while, so it's when we first started doing this, we didn't have to do as many marketing. Our marketing budget when we first started was almost like zero, but because we've been doing this for almost 5 years now, in a few more months it'll be 5 years. We've been having to reach out the normal real estate investing community into just the general market, the general public, and invite them. So our ad budget costs more now than it was when we first started out this business. And then the money. So how we charge, what we charge for the 3-day seminar. We charge them $997, but the way the pitch is worded is that it's $497 now and $500 off of your first deal. So this $497 helps us recoup our marketing costs that we spend on the front end, and then and then this is like sort of a bonus and a hook for them to see that we're interested in, we believe in their success, right? And so we put our money where our mouth is and allow them to split the cost into 2 different payments, right? One now, just so they have some skin in the game, and then the other half when they do the first deal. Okay, and then we don't do any kind of selling on the stage like a lot of people do. All of our sales happen one-on-one on a consultative selling. So we have a sales team that we outsource. It's not an in-house team. We outsource them. They fly in every time we do our seminar, and then that's their job to do, is just to sell the coaching. And so on Friday morning of the seminar, we do this business this business questionnaire where we ask them about them and their goals and their business, and where they are financially, so that way we have an idea of what kind of packages we can provide for them, right? That we can offer them based on what their goals are and what their resources are. And then so all of that happens off of the stage. On stage on Saturday before lunch, I do talk about the importance of mentoring, and about our coaching program, but I don't actually sell or close. There's nothing like go to the back of the room. We do have an interest form that we tell them. So like I'll say, yeah, if you're interested in getting coaching and mentoring from us, then fill out this form, and one of our strategists will you know will sit down with you and have that talk with you. But we don't actually like do any selling on in front. And then so we sell them into our coaching. Um, our basic plans basically it's like three different programs that we sell them into. um, we also have another program for $1,000, which is a recording of one of our seminars, so that way if they if they want to rewatch it that they have the ability. But we only offer that as a sort of a down sell if they don't buy anything else, right? But so here's how our program works. And the way it works is we kind of sell them from this and then go down. So maybe I should like put it you know put it this way, whatever. I'll just explain it from here up. But everything down here includes everything above it. Okay. So one day bus tour, we sell them that for 5,000. We basically we put them in a bus and we take them out on a tour of our properties that we're currently doing. Everything from a property that we're looking to get under contract to one that we already got contract, one that we're wholesaling, one that we're rehabbing, one that we have sold, like just in different stages. So typically we take them out to about 5 properties, and we go through and talk about everything from how we find a deal, how we negotiate it, the challenges we came across on these deals, the even down to like the contractors we use, the inspector, like whatever we've done on that property or are doing on that property, we share that with them. So it's very it's very real for them. Okay. um, and then we take them in. The next program is a $15,000 program. They get to come into the office to implement what they've learned in the seminar, in the 3-day seminar, in our office. And before the boot camp happens, one of our staff meets with them to put a marketing campaign in place and roll out the marketing. So that way, by the time they get to our boot camp, they already have leads for us to help them with. So their calls, they're starting to get in calls already. And so, so sometimes during the boot camp, they get a deal. One of our coaches goes with them on the appointment, get the deal on the contract. And so that happens like their very first week. Not all of them obviously do that, but you know how the marketing games work, right? Sometimes it happens, and sometimes it doesn't happen right away in the first week, and it takes longer because they have to do follow-ups on those leads. But yeah, so it's very intensive. It happens in our boot camp, in our office. And then our 3 months coaching, it's $30,000 upfront or $35,000 on payment plan. And normally even on a payment plan, we don't do monthly payments. We do at least half down, and then we'll split up the other half based on what they can pay. But we don't do. I know like some people do. Like like some people will have like let's say at 30,000 3 months, they might do 10,000 a month. We don't really do that. Okay. We want their commitment as much as possible up front. All right. And then we do co-op marketing. What that means is that they get to be in our marketing pool. So in my real estate business, in my partner real estate business, we do marketing for our own real estate deals every month, and so they get to buy into a slot, and we don't do any kind of markup on it. So it's basically it's $1,500 a slot, and a slot gives them like one round of call rotation. The phone system goes in a round robin, and so if they if they invest 3,000 for the month, then they get two calls and other and so on, right? So 111 and then or 1122, two and then one to the other people. Um, and then our 6 months program. Oh yeah, and then all of our coaching programs has a minimum of number of deal splits that they're required to do with us. So if it's a 3 month coaching program, they're required to do their first three, split their profit on the first three deals with us. And then for our 6 months program, it's $50,000 upfront, $60,000 payment plan, and again, they're required to put at least half down, and then the other half was, we'll work out a payment arrangement with them. We also put them in co-op. All of our coaching program goes into our co-op marketing. They're required to split their first 6 deals with us, and I'll explain about the fulfillment in a little bit. But in our 3 months coaching program, we don't teach students anything outside of wholesaling. So if they're in the 3 months, we only teach them about wholesaling, because we believe that especially if they're new to real estate investing, is for them to gain the experience of getting deals, because that's like one of the most important part of the business, is know how to market and negotiate and put deals on a contract. And so so in our 3 months program, that's all we focus them on. In our 6 months program, then after they've done their first 3 deals, then they do have the option to rehab, choose to buy it, rehab, or buy it and keep it as a rental. And if they do buy it as a rehab, then we just determine what that wholesale fee would have been, and we split the profit on that wholesale fee. And if we buy it, then same thing, right? We determine what that wholesale fee would have been, and we buy it for ourselves. All right. So, and then our 12 months coaching, this is where our $100,000 coaching comes in. Okay. So it's it's $100,000 upfront or $120,000 payment plan. Again, they get into our co-op marketing, and so on top of all of these fees that we charge them, they have to invest in their own marketing, their own cost for marketing, which is $1,500 a month at a minimum. Like I said, per round, per round, right? So per round robin. And they are also required to do their profit split in the first 6 deals with us. When we first launched this program, we used to require them to do 12 deals, but we found out that 12 deals was like a little bit too much for what they've already invested up front. And in the beginning, when they first joined us, like, they're excited, they just want to start doing deals. But as they start doing deals, they can see it's like, dang, like I'm I'm paying out a lot of money here, right? To be in the group. So we lowered down to 6 deals. As far as on the selling side of things, they'll buy into anything, right? The way we structure the flow of our seminar. I mean, we get them into a buying mode, and assuming they could afford it, they'll just get whatever the highest they can. So whether you put 6 deals or 12 deals, from the selling side point of view, it doesn't matter. It's only on the fulfillment side that it matters. Okay. Of course, beyond these required deal splits, it becomes optional for them if they want to continue to do deal splits with us. They're not required to, but they do that. They have that option. Sometimes they get a property in the contract, they couldn't sell it, and then we have a much bigger buyers list, and so we blast it out to our list, and we sell it, and we split the profit with them. Okay, or we buy it ourselves too. So we always tell our students, look, we're your number one buyers. So bring your deals to us first before you market out to anywhere else, because that if we buy it, I mean, assuming the title is clear, like, we can literally close the next day. So we're a really strong buyer. We close super fast, and so our students like that. They like to get paid quick. All right. So on the fulfillment side, how do we, what do we do, right? So so the bus tour basically, like I said, it's fulfilled by one of our coaches, and our coaches are successful rules. They are our successful students that graduate out of our program and became one of our coaches, um, and um, and yeah, and then sometimes every once in a while we need an extra coach. We'll find a successful investor in town that we have a strong relationship with. So we have them be our one of our coaches as well. So that's up to you. If you already have successful students, this makes it easy for you. You can use them. But if not, any other investor that you like in town would be a a good yeah a good fit for you. Okay, all right. Um, Yeah, Dave and Brad, I saw your question. I'll answer it here at the end. Okay, so 1 week plus office bus tour for yeah. So the bus, the 1 week implementation boot camp, that's also fulfilled by one of our coaches. Either me, myself, or my partner will come in and say hello to them, just so that way they like, oh, okay, yeah, Tim's around, right? But we don't actually do the fulfillment of it. 3 months coaching, again, fulfilled by one of our coaches. We do monthly mastermind meetings, and I'll explain why we have masterminds, why we have group coaching. We do very little one-on-one coaching. We have a weekly in-person group coaching in our office. We also have a weekly phone group coaching as well. All of these are fulfilled by one of our coaches. Um, the only time when my partner and I get involved is in the 100K program. Um, and then yeah, and then if they need extra help one on one, whether it's to put together a marketing plan, or like actually implement the marketing, or analyzing a deal or something to that effect, then we schedule that accordingly. Actually, we have a like an email where any deals that they need us to review, they send an email to that specific email, and then our one of our coaches will review it and reply to them. And we try to be as thorough as we can in our reply to them. It minimizes the need for them to actually meet with us or call us over the phone. And then if they need help, like to actually go on appointments to meet with a seller, we'll send one of our coaches to go with them. But then that's an extra profit split. If they do choose to do that, because the coach won't just be there to coach them. The coach will actually like take the lead and negotiate and get the deal on the contract. And so we treat it as like an acquisition person. And that's which reminds me, that's how our coaching team started. Was our acquisition people were our coaches. So they didn't get paid as a coach. They just get paid whenever these students get on the contract, get properties under contract, because we get a split of that, and we pay our acquisition people a split of that as well. All right. So our 6 months program, very similar to On Top. Again, one of our coaches fulfill that. And then our 12 months program, again, similar as well. Plus, they get a one-on-one with either me or my partner. And so, these one-on-one allows us to stay on top of them and making sure that they're on track. Okay. All right, 100% success. So how we define 100% success is that no matter which coaching program that they're in, that they do at least one deal while they are in our program. For our $100,000 a year group, they get to stay in our even though their program is for 1 year, but they get to stay in the program for as long as they need to make at least $100,000 back. So we'll go beyond a year for 100,000. We don't offer that to the other programs, but for our $100,000 clients, then yeah, they do get to stay. Um, okay, so how we're able to achieve the 100% success rate that we have. Number one is that we only teach what we do. That's it, nothing more. Like if we don't do it, we don't teach it. Marketing as a great example, right? If there are tons of different ways that we can market, but we only teach them our top 5 ways that we find deals, and that's it, right? Even the vendors that if we don't use that vendors, we don't recommend it to them. They can, of course, they have the option to choose some different vendor, but the only vendor that we recommend are the ones that we use. So like it's very specific, everything from our specific strategy to our specific marketing plan to our specific business structure. So like for example, our business structure, we share with them, okay, this is our business structure when we were just a one-man show, right? And then this is our business structure as we grow. So every step from when we're just one person to when we have a virtual assistant, or when we outsource it, the call to like a virtual operator, when we add an acquisition person, when we add a disposition person, or a closing coordination person, right? So every step of the way, like we show them, so that way they can sort of future pace themselves and know how their business structure will look like as they grow. And same thing with the marketing plan, right? Women, they might have a goal to make whatever $1 million a year, but we don't say, okay, day one, right? Dump $15,000 a month in marketing. Like we don't do that, right? We have them grow it slowly and scale it up. We tell them, it's like, look, your first month goal is just to do your first deal, right? You're gonna learn from that, and then and then as you learn from that, then you reinvest the money back into your marketing. And we teach them to here in Houston, our cost per deal is roughly about 20% of our wholesale profit. So we always tell them, like, reinvest at least 20% back into your into your marketing. And then we meet with them. We create a 90-day action plan with them. But again, like out their 90-day action plan, especially their first 90 days, is not based on their goals and what they're trying to achieve, but simply based on modeling what we do and what has worked for our students. So we tell them, look, your first 90 days, this is what you're gonna do. Don't don't like stray from it. Don't argue with it. This is proven. Just do this. Your goal is just to get some deals under your belt, and then after you do your first 3 wholesale deals, then you can do whatever else you want to do. You can get into rehabbing, which teach you how to do that. Get into landlording, we'll teach you how to do that. But your first 90 days, let's get your 3 wholesale deals done. Let's yeah, and here's a very specific plan to do that day 1 to day 90. Okay. And then of course we help them create their quarterly plan, yearly plan. We have a like a CEO dashboard that they get on, and they put all of their goals. They track their marketing on there. They track their conversion rate. So we provide them with all of that, so that way, like, they know exactly what they need to do. Um, and then yeah. So then the mindset that we teach them, mindset is a very broad topic, right? Like thinking positively. There's one mindset that we kind of drill on our people, is being integrity with yourself, right? And the way we define integrity, not from a moral, like, good bad perspective, but simply integrity as in, like, you keeping your own word to yourself, right? If this is what you're committed to, you keep that, right? So we track them based on how consistently do they do what they say they're gonna do. And if they don't do what they say they're gonna do, like we'll call them out and we refer back to this integrity, right? Like be in integrity with yourself because this is how you're gonna succeed. Without you being integrity with yourself, without you doing what you say you're gonna do, you're not gonna be successful. So we sort of drill this into their head over and over and over. Like this is just the one mindset that we want them to have more than anything else. So we don't get them distracted with 1,000 different millionaire mindset, right? Just one only which is like to do what you say you're gonna do, right? Despite what your circumstances is, despite what your thoughts are about it, your feelings about it, we don't care, right? If this is what you're committed to, then do this. Right? We don't have them like overcommit themselves, right? We're very clear on when part of the plan that we help them create. Like we'll get very clear on like are they a full-time person, are they a part-time person, how much money they have, right? To invest, whether it's for their marketing or for staff, and so we create a plan that we know is doable for them, that doesn't overcommit them. Okay. So modeling, master plan, mindset, and then mastermind. Mastermind it's all about the environment, right? It's one thing to teach them what to do, and even holding the mindset to, teaching them the mindset to do it. Is that you got to provide the environment for them to be able to do it, like the environment of other people doing deals. It's like when our students don't do deals, they don't point fingers at us. They know it's something they're not doing, because when they come to their monthly mastermind, they get to see other students doing deals, and so it's not like what we teach might or might not work. It's like, no, what we teach works. If something doesn't work, you want to look at where you're not working it, right? Like I said, we only teach what we do. We only teach what's proven. If it's something that we're testing out, we're trying out, we don't teach those stuff. And so yeah, so all five of these are super super important if you want to help your students to be successful, right? Because if you miss any one of these, like if you focus too much on the mechanics, right, the how to of things, but but you don't hold them accountable to the mindset of doing what you say you're going to do, then that, yeah, they'll be very smart, like tech smart, book smart, right? They'll know what to do, but they won't do it. So it's super important that you implement all five of these M's. And the next is mentor. And I look at myself as a mentor, not as someone who has great ideas to teach to them, because we already have those processes in place here of them modeling us, but mentor as an accountability coach. Like the one thing you can do for your students, your clients, and I'm using students, clients interchangeably here. In our business, we actually have a very specific term. So if if they're a member of our RIA club, we call them a member. If they have been to our 3-day seminar, we call them a student. And if they are in our coaching program, we call them a client. So we do have a very specific term. So that's why sometimes people outside of our business don't know what we mean by when we say client, so we use students interchangeably, but internally, like that's how we classified our people. And so the way I look at it is that it's my job as a mentor to hold myself and my team accountable to this 100% success rate. If we see that, hey, here's a student, they're in our 3 months program and it's getting close to that 3 months and they haven't done a deal yet, right? like we called, we called like an urgent meeting about that and said like, what's going on, like why are they not doing deals, what's missing. um and so we like, this is our, this 100% success rate of them doing at least one deal while they're in a program, is what we use to kind of drive everything else in our business. And then we also hold our clients accountable to their plan as well, right? Basically we tell them, it's like, plan your work and work your plan. And we have an accountability coach. That's all she does every single week with them, is hold their accountable to their weekly plans. Okay. All right. Let me go back and answer this question here. Dave asks, what are the numbers from monthly networking events, free workshop, 3 days? Yeah, so our networking event will typically get anywhere from 120 to 150 people there. We at one point we tweak a lot of different things, but we made some mistakes along the way as well. But at one point, we had over 300 people at our networking events, and then we whatever, some mistakes we made, and for a period of time it went down and down, and now it's going back up again. We're changing things up again. So yeah, but I know the last meeting we had over 150 people. So yeah. So as long, if you want to grow that networking meeting strong, just make sure you don't like you're not too pushy with selling at the networking event, and it'll grow, it'll grow faster. All right. For our free workshops, like I said, we do it every 3 weeks, and then when we do it, it's 2 days back to back and 2 times a day. And on average, we get about 40 people for each of those times. And so that's how we fill our events. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Will you please email the mind map? Sure, I will do that. Okay. All right. Let me see here. What are you sell through percentage to various coaching levels? So that's, we don't track by percentage like that. We track by dollar per head, right? So if we have 80 buying units in a room, we go, how much are we gonna make, right? And we average roughly about 3,500. When we first started, it was a lot more, but nowadays it's like $3,500 a head. So out of 80 people, we'll make anywhere from 280, 280 to like 350 per seminar. And so that's how we track it. And then because it's kind of hard to track percentage through coaching levels, because at each meeting the group is a little bit different. So we sometimes we have a higher quality group, sometimes we have a lower quality group. Sometimes we get like 200K students at one, that sign up at a seminar. Because obviously if you have just one of the 100K, it messed up your percentage, right? But so we track based on dollar per buying units. Okay. What do we pay to coaches? Most of the coaches, what they do, most of the coaching that they do is actually free for us, because they want to continue to be, like I said, they're our successful students, and they want to give back, and also they want to be able to continue to be in the group, get coaching from us. So like running things like the workshop, like the weekly workshops, the weekly conference, those coaching are free. Now, when they're coaching the students on a specific deal, and we do that deal with the students, then they get a percentage of that deal. So they get paid more on deals than they do on the actual coaching side. Okay, and also too, like each time that we do a deal split with the students, we give our coaches a piece of that as well. All right. All right. Any other questions, y'all? Okay. All right. I got your questions. Brad says yes. More questions. Oh, you know what? Let me unmute you guys. I forgot all about that. Uh, unmute. Brad, can you hear me?
Yes,
All right.
Tim, it's
Yes.
Brad.
Yep.
My question is, so we're sending out 100,000 postcards a month in the DC area, and we've maxed out on our PPC spend.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like we're mailing, a large, if not all, of the target audience. So if I were to do this, set up this in the Washington D.C. market, how could I share mailing or PPC or any other form of marketing if I feel like I've already maxed out ourselves?
Right. So, so you're gonna teach them to do more targeted marketing, like more guerrilla marketing, right? So what that means is reaching out to their contacts contact, driving for dollars. So you do all the things that your marketing might not reach. So deeper stuff. For example, we have one of our students works at a probate law firm. So so we teach her to bring us deals from their firm, right? So just like things like that. It's obviously you are so used to like broadcast, mass marketing. So now you have to put on a different hat for your students and have them go, more guerrilla marketing.
Okay. And do you suggest they get a website?
We do, and we used to, we use Freedom Soft, so we tell them to use Freedom Soft, something super easy like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, let me see here. All right. Yeah. So now I want to share with you guys, about what's next, right? Um, you know, yeah, for me and you, right? How can we work together? I'd love to, take this to the next level. If you're looking to, get into the real estate coaching or info marketing business, or looking to grow your real estate coaching info marketing business, everything from traffic to conversions to sales to fulfillment. I've done it all, right? Everything from launches to pay per click to Facebook to having in-house sales team, outsourced sales team, in-house fulfillment, outsourced fulfillment. Like I've pretty much tested and tried all different ways, and so I know for sure I can bring a lot of value to you that way.